It starts with a feeling of safety, a warm, comfortable lie you tell yourself every single morning when the alarm goes off. You tell yourself that if you just keep your head down, if you just do the work, if you just show them how indispensable you are, they will take care of you. You believe in the social contract. You believe that your sacrifice is being tallied on some invisible celestial scoreboard in the CEO's office. You think that because you care about the company cares about you. Pause. Look at where you are right now. Look at the desk you're sitting at or the car you're driving home in. You are tired, not the good kind of tired that comes from building something of your own. You are the bad kind of tired, the hollow, scraped-out exhaustion of someone who has poured their best energy into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You are operating on a deficit, and the worst part is you think this deficit is temporary. You think you are paying your dues. Let's look at that Friday night. You know the one. The office is empty. The motion sensor lights in the hallway have already flickered off because everyone else, the people you secretly judge for not caring enough, went home hours ago. But you're still there. You're staring at a spreadsheet that isn't even your responsibility. You're fixing a mistake made by a manager who makes twice your salary but does half your thinking. You're doing it because you're a team player. You're doing it because you believe that when the time comes, they will remember who stayed late. They will remember who saved the account. They will remember who was loyal. Stop. They don't remember. In fact, the only thing they are noticing is that you are willing to work for free. You aren't building equity. You are establishing a precedent. You are teaching them that your time has no value. You are teaching them that your boundaries are permeable. You think you are proving your worth, but in the cold, hard calculus of the balance sheet, you are simply lowering your hourly rate. Every hour of unpaid overtime you donate to the cause is a direct reduction of your market value. You are depreciating your own asset. And then comes the meeting, the annual review, the moment you've been banking on. You walk in with your list of accomplishments. You have the data. You saved the project in Q3. You onboarded the new team in Q4. You haven't taken a real vacation in 2 years because the timing was never right. You sit down, expecting a coronation. You expect them to slide a piece of paper across the table that reflects the blood and sweat you've poured into this logo. But that's not what happens. They smile. They use words like rock star and integral. They tell you how much they appreciate your dedication. And then they slide the paper across the table. 3%. A 3% raise. In an economy where inflation is running at 4 or 5%. Do the math right now in your head. Do the math. They didn't just give you a raise. They gave you a pay cut. After all those late nights, after all the stress eating at your desk, after missing your friend's birthday dinner because of a crisis that no one remembers a week later, you are statistically poorer than you were the day you started. And here is the gut punch. Here is the moment that makes you want to scream, but you don't, because you're professional. While you are staring at that insulting number, trying to force a grateful smile, you know, you know that the person in the cubicle next to you, the one who was hired 3 months ago, the one who asks you how to do the basic functions of their job, is making 20% more than you. Why? Because they weren't loyal. They were a mercenary. They came from the outside. They negotiated at market rate. They didn't have a history of saying yes to everything for free. They didn't have the baggage of loyalty weighing down their asking price. This is the uncomfortable reality of the labor market that no HR department will ever admit to you. The budget for retaining you is always, always smaller than the budget for acquiring someone new. Your loyalty isn't an asset to them, it's a discount code. It's a coupon they clip every 2 weeks. By staying, by being grateful, by being part of the family, you have signaled that you have nowhere else to go. You have signaled that you are safe. And in business, safe means cheap. You think your loyalty is a shield. You think it protects you from the layoffs, from the restructuring, from the volatility. You think that if you just cling tight enough to the hull of the ship, you won't drown. But look around you. Look at the empty desks of the people who were here 10 years, 20 years. The ones who got the plaque and the watch and the sorry, it's just business, email on a Tuesday morning. Your loyalty didn't buy you safety. It bought you complacency. It blinded you to the fact that while you were busy being a good soldier, the war changed. The market moved on, and you were left holding the bag, wondering why doing the right thing feels so much like being robbed. Because it is a robbery. It's a heist in slow motion. They aren't just taking your time, they are taking your future earning potential. Every year you stay at a job that pays you less than your market value, you are compounding your own poverty. You are setting a lower baseline for every future negotiation. You are telling the world, this is all I am worth. And you do it with a smile. You do it with pride. You wear your exploitation like a badge of honor. You call it loyalty. They call it a liability. And they are banking on the fact that you will never know the difference. The most dangerous word in the English language isn't war. It isn't hate. It isn't even death. In the context of your career, the most dangerous word is family. You've heard it, you've probably said it. We're like a family here. It sounds warm. It sounds safe. It triggers that deep, primal part of your brain that craves belonging. You want to be part of the tribe. You want to be protected by the pack. But pause for a second. Let's look at what family actually means in a corporate setting. Scene 1. It's 4:55 p.m. You have plans. Maybe it's a date, maybe it's the gym, maybe it's just sitting on your couch staring at the wall because your brain is fried. Your manager walks over. They don't demand you stay. Demands are for armies. Families use something stronger. They use guilt. Hey, we're really in a crunch with the Q3 projections. The whole team is staying to push this over the line. We really need everyone pulling their weight on this one. Translation. If you leave at the time you are legally contracted to leave, you are betraying the tribe. So what do? You cancel the plans. You send the running late text. You sit back down. You don't ask for overtime pay. You don't ask for a comp day. You do it because you don't want to be the black sheep. You do it because families sacrifice for each other. But here is the glitch in the matrix. Here is the pattern you are ignoring. When you have an emergency, does the family sacrifice for you? Scene 2, you're sick. Not mental health day sick. Actually sick. Fever, chills, body aches. You send the email. You feel guilty sending it. You spend 20 minutes drafting a message that sounds apologetic enough. And the response comes back. So sorry you're not feeling well. Rest up. We're absolutely drowning without you on the Henderson account, but don't worry about it. Read that again. We're drowning without you. That isn't sympathy. That is a weapon. That is a calculated emotional sniper shot designed to make you check your email from your sickbed. And you do. You're shivering under a blanket, answering Slack messages, reviewing PDFs, just checking in. You are working while you are physically incapacitated because the family narrative has overridden your survival instinct. Scene 3. The celebration. The company has had a record year. You know this because the CEO sent out a glossy email with charts going up and to the right. The shareholders are happy. The executive bonuses are secured. The family has won. And what is your share of the harvest? A pizza party, a branded water bottle, a $50 gift card to a store you don't shop at. If this were a real family, if you and your brother built a house together, you would own half the house. But in the corporate family, you build the house, they own the deed, and they let you sleep in the shed as long as you keep painting the fence. The family metaphor is the greatest psychological heist ever pulled on the American worker. It is designed to do one thing: obscure the transactional nature of the relationship. A transaction is clean. I give you labor, you give me money. If I give you more labor, you give me more money. It's simple. It's fair. A family relationship is messy. It relies on unwritten rules, emotional debts, and undefined obligations. By calling it a family, they delete the price tag on your extra effort. They make it rude to ask for more money. Who asks their mother for a consulting fee? Who charges their brother for helping them move? Nobody. And that is exactly why they use the word. They use it to strip mine your empathy. They use it to convert your professional boundaries into culture-fit issues. If you ask for a raise, you aren't negotiating, you're being greedy. If you set boundaries, you aren't being professional, you're not a team player. You are in a one-sided relationship where you are expected to give like a parent, but receive like a distant cousin. Look at the pattern. Every time they ask for something for the good of the team, it costs you time or money. Every time you ask for something for the good of your life, it's a budget issue. Families don't lay off 15% of their children to improve the quarterly EBITDA. Families don't have non-compete clauses that starve you if you try to leave. Families don't replace you 2 weeks after you die. Stop calling them your family. They are your client. And right now, your client is getting a lot of free work. Let's talk about the moment the math stops making sense. You're out for drinks. It's a Thursday. You're sitting next to the new guy. Let's call him Jason. Jason has been at the company for 3 months. You've been here for 4 years. You are the one who showed Jason how to log into the server. You are the one who explained the filing system. You are the one who fixed his first 3 major screw-ups before the boss saw them. Jason is nice. He's eager. He's happy to be here. And then, after 2 beers, he slips. He mentions his rent. Or maybe he talks about the car he just bought. Or maybe he just casually drops a number about his signing bonus. And your stomach drops. You do the mental math. Fast. You divide by 12. You subtract taxes. You realize with a cold, sickening clarity that Jason, who still asks you where the bathroom is making $15,000 more than you. $15,000. You freeze, you stare at your beer, you try to rationalize it. Maybe he has more experience. No, you saw his resume. Maybe he has a specialized degree. No, you have the same degree. Maybe he negotiated better. No, he didn't have to negotiate better. He just had to be new. This is the loyalty tax, and you are paying it every single pay period. Here is the economic reality that HR will never explain to you. When you stay at a company, your raises are capped. They are tied to a percentage of your current salary, usually 3% to 5%, if you are lucky, if you are a top performer. But the market moves faster than 3%. The market moves at the speed of demand. When the company had to hire Jason, they had to pay him what the market demanded today. They had to compete with every other company trying to hire him right now. They had to pay the 2024 price for labor. You are being paid the 2020 price for labor, plus a little inflation adjustment that doesn't even cover the cost of your groceries. Think about that. Look at that gap. That gap is the price of your comfort. That gap is the cost of your fear of change. You are the loyal customer who has been with the cable company for 10 years, paying $150 a month for basic internet. Jason is the new customer who just signed up and got the introductory offer of $99 for gigabit speed and HBO Max. Why do they treat Jason better? Because they had to win him. They don't have to win you. They already have you. You are a captured asset. You are a depreciating piece of inventory sitting on the shelf. They know you aren't looking. They know you value stability. They know you are too tired to update your resume. So they take the money that should be going to you, the money that represents the institutional knowledge you hold, the relationships you've built, the systems you maintain, and they use it to pay Jason's signing bonus. Read that again. You are subsidizing your own replacement. Every time you train a new hire who makes more than you are participating in your own financial humiliation. You are teaching someone to do a job that the market has decided is worth $85,000, while you continue to do it for $70,000. And what happens when you finally get the courage to walk into your boss's office? What happens when you say, "Hey, I know what Jason makes. I want a match"? They will sigh, they will look pained, they will talk about salary bands and internal equity and budget cycles. They will tell you their hands are tied. Lies. Their hands were not tied when they hired Jason. They found the money for him instantly. The budget magically appeared for the stranger. But for you, the person who stayed late, the person who knows where the bodies are buried, for you, the cupboard is bare. Because they know the secret you are trying to hide, you aren't going to leave. If you were going to leave, you would have done it 2 years ago. You are bluffing. And until you actually put a competing offer on the desk, until you actually show them you are a mercenary, not a martyr, they will continue to tax your loyalty. You think you are being paid for your work. You are. You are being paid for your leverage. And right now, your leverage is zero. You are suffering from a delusion. It's a specific kind of hallucination that affects millions of people, and it's the reason you wake up with a pit in your stomach on Sunday nights. You believe you are in a relationship with your employer. You think there is a we. You think there is a shared emotional bank account where your deposits of stress and sacrifice are being stored for a rainy day. You project human qualities onto a tax ID number. You think the company has a memory. You think the company has a conscience. You think the company has a heart. Pause. A corporation is a legal fiction. It is a stack of papers filed in Delaware. It is a set of bylaws designed to do exactly one thing: maximize shareholder value. It cannot love you. It cannot be grateful to you. It cannot feel guilty when you miss your daughter's recital. This is the asymmetry principle, and it is the root of your misery. You are bringing human emotions to a table where the other side is playing by the rules of physics. You are operating on the logic of reciprocity. If I do this favor for them, they will do a favor for me. That works with your neighbor. That works with your spouse. That works with your friends. But a company operates on the logic of extraction. How much value can we extract from this resource for the lowest possible cost before it breaks or leaves? Scene 1. The urgent request. It's 8:00 p.m. on a Tuesday. Your boss pings you. "Hey, sorry to bother you, but can you just look at this slide deck? The client meeting is moved up." Your human brain kicks in. You hear a person in need. You feel empathy. You think he's stressed. "I should help. We're in this together." So you open the laptop. You fix the slides. You save the day. You feel a little glow of pride. You helped a friend. Now reverse the flow. 2 weeks later, you have a dentist appointment. It's at 3:00 p.m. You ask to leave an hour early. Does the company feel empathy? Does the algorithm feel a desire to help a friend? No. The request goes into a system. It is calculated against your PTO balance. It is weighed against coverage needs. If you have the hours, you get to go. If you don't, you get a flag on your record. The favor you did on Tuesday night, it evaporated the second you closed the laptop. It wasn't a deposit in the bank of goodwill. It was a donation to a black hole. This asymmetry is why you feel crazy. You are constantly feeding a machine that runs on a completely different fuel source. You are feeding it loyalty, sweat, and care. It runs on efficiency, compliance, and profit. You are trying to hug a vending machine, and you are hurt when it doesn't hug you back. The most dangerous agents of this asymmetry are the people whose job is to simulate humanity, human resources. HR is here for you. We have an open door policy. We want to hear your concerns. Stop. HR is not your therapist. HR is not your union. HR is not your lawyer. HR is risk management for the company. Their job is to protect the entity from you. When you go to them with a problem, harassment, burnout, unfair pay, they don't listen to help you. They listen to assess the liability you pose to the company. They are calculating the odds of a lawsuit. They are calculating the cost of replacing you versus the cost of silencing you. If you are the problem, you are gone. If the manager is the problem, but makes the company 10 times more money than you do, you are gone. They will use human words. They will use the language of care. We think this isn't a good fit. We want you to be happy. We've decided to part ways. Soft words, gentle words. But the action is cold, hard, and final. This is the psychological trap. You are playing a social game. They are playing a zero-sum game. You think your loyalty is buying you insurance. You think that because you stayed through the merger, because you survived the layoffs, because you trained the new guys, you have built up equity. You haven't. In a transactional relationship, the only thing that matters is the current exchange. Are you profitable today? Are you necessary today? Are you cheaper than the alternative today? If the answer to any of those questions becomes no, your 10 years of loyalty evaporate instantly. They don't calculate past service. They calculate future value. And the moment your salary exceeds your replacement cost, you are no longer an asset. You are a liability. The company isn't evil. It's just doing what it was designed to do. A shark isn't evil for eating a seal. It's a shark. The tragedy is that you are swimming in the water, bleeding loyalty, and expecting the shark to protect you because you've been swimming next to it for a long time. You tell yourself a story about why you're still there. It's a noble story. You tell your friends over drinks, I can't leave right now, the team needs me. You tell your partner, I just want to see this one project through to the end. You tell yourself, I'm building a legacy here. Pause. That is a lie. You aren't staying because you are loyal. You are staying because you are scared. Let's be brutally honest about what is happening in your nervous system every Sunday night. You feel the dread. You feel the weight of the week crushing you before it even starts. You know logically that you are underpaid. You know emotionally that you are unappreciated. You know intellectually that there are other jobs out there. But you don't apply. You don't even open the tab. Why? Because of the known hell. Human beings are hardwired for survival, not happiness. Your brain prefers a misery it recognizes over a happiness it has to fight for. You know exactly how your boss is going to dismiss your ideas tomorrow. You know exactly which coworker is going to steal your credit. You know exactly how the fluorescent lights hum in the break room. That familiarity feels like safety. It feels predictable. And to your prehistoric brain, predictable means, I won't die today. The unknown, the interview, the new office, the new boss, the new expectations, feels like a threat. It feels like a tiger in the bushes. So you choose the cage. You choose the cage because you know where the water bowl is, even if the water is stagnant. But there is a darker layer to this. There is a secret fear you won't even admit to your mirror. You think this is a fluke. Deep down, buried under your credentials and your LinkedIn profile, you have a gnawing suspicion that you tricked them into hiring you. You have imposter syndrome that has calcified into a worldview. You think, I got lucky getting this job. If I go out there into the cold, hard market, they will see I'm a fraud. They will see I'm not good enough. So you cling to the one place that has already validated you. You cling to the approval you already have, even if that approval comes with a 3% raise and a side of disrespect. You are holding on to this job like a life raft, terrified that if you let go, you'll realize you never learned how to swim. And the company knows this. They smell your fear. It's in the way you accept the extra work without asking for extra pay. It's in the way you apologize when you haven't done anything wrong. It's in the way you never, ever negotiate. They know they don't have to retain you with money because your own anxiety is doing the retention work for free. You are addicted to the certainty of your own unhappiness. And while you are staying loyal, something terrible is happening to you. You are atrophying. Think about what you learned this year. Did you learn a new market skill? Did you master a new technology? Or did you just learn how to navigate Sharon's passive-aggressive emails? Did you learn how to format a report exactly the way the VP likes it? Those are not skills. Those are survival mechanisms for a specific environment. They are non-transferable assets. The longer you stay in a stagnant environment, the more institutionalized you become. You are becoming an expert in a burning building. You tell yourself, I'll leave when the time is right. I'll leave after the bonus. I'll leave when the market picks up. No, you won't, because there is always a reason to stay in the cave. The safety addiction is the most potent drug they have. They give you just enough stability to pay your rent, just enough praise to keep your ego on life support, and just enough fear to keep you from looking at the exit. You aren't a loyal employee. You are a hostage who has fallen in love with the captor because they feed you once a day. Loyalty is a choice made from power. Staying because you're afraid to leave is not loyalty. It is cowardice. It is hiding. And right now, you are using loyalty as a shield to protect yourself from the terrified realization that you might have to prove your worth to strangers. You are choosing the slow death of your potential over the sharp pain of growth. And every day you sit in that chair, staring at that screen, waiting for permission to leave, you are shrinking. Let's zoom in on the silent killer of your bank account. It's not the taxes the government takes. It's the taxes your company takes. It's called scope creep, and it is the single most effective way for a corporation to lower your hourly wage without you ever noticing. Scene 1, it's a Tuesday morning. A coworker quits. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah managed the entire client reporting system. It's a tedious 4-hour weekly task. Your boss calls you in. They look stressed. Hey, with Sarah gone, we're in a bit of a bind. Can you just handle the reporting until we find a backfill? It's temporary. Temporary. You say yes, because you're loyal, because you're a team player, because you want to help. Fast forward 3 months. You are still doing the reporting. It takes you 4 hours every week. That's 16 hours a month. That's nearly 200 hours a year. Where is the job posting for Sarah's replacement? Check the website. It's not there. Why? Because you are doing it. You absorbed the work. You didn't complain. You didn't ask for a stipend. You just did it. And the moment you did it for free for more than 2 weeks, the company realized something magical. They don't need to hire a replacement. They just saved $60,000 a year. And you got $0 of it. Do the math. If you work 40 hours a week for $80,000, your hourly rate is roughly $38. Now you are working 44 hours a week for $80,000. Your hourly rate just dropped to $34. You didn't get a pay cut on paper, but in reality, you just took a 10% pay cut. Your labor is now cheaper. The company is getting a bulk discount on your life. This is the inflation of expectations. It happens slowly. It's the frog in the boiling water. First, it's the reporting. Then, it's training the intern. Then it's leading the morning stand-up. Then it's managing the vendor relationship. Each one is a small ask. Each one is just for now. Each one is a great opportunity for exposure. Exposure. You can't pay your rent with exposure. You can't eat exposure. Exposure is the currency of the exploited. And here is the twisted irony of the corporate world. Competence is punished. If you are incompetent, they take work away from you. They give you less to do because they don't trust you. You get paid the same to do less. If you are competent, if you are loyal, efficient, and good at your job, they give you more. They see you digging a hole efficiently. Do they give you a raise? No. They give you a bigger shovel. They see how much weight you can carry before your knees buckle. You have become a load-bearing employee. You know you are one when you hear phrases like, "Give it to your name. They'll get it done fast. We can always count on your name. If your name leaves, we are screwed." That last one isn't a compliment. It's a confession of negligence. If the entire department collapses because one person leaves, that is a management failure. But they have turned it into a badge of honor for you. They feed your ego with praise while starving your bank account. You're a rock star. You're a machine. I don't know what we'd do without you. Here is what they would do without you. They would hire 2 people to do the work you are currently doing for the price of 1. And you let them. You take the stretch assignments. You take the growth opportunities. You convince yourself that this extra work is your ticket to a promotion. You think you are building a case for a raise. But you are. You are proving that you are willing to work at a discount. Why would they promote you? Why would they move you out of a role where you are doing the work of 1.5 people for 1 salary? Promoting you would be a bad business decision. It would create a hole they can't fill. You are too valuable where you are. You are too cheap where you are. Your loyalty has made you stuck. You have made yourself indispensable to the operation, which means you are unpromotable. You are the engine of the car. You don't take the engine out and put it in the driver's seat. You keep the engine under the hood, dirty, overheating, and unseen, until it burns out. And when you finally do burn out, when you finally snap and say, "I can't do this anymore," they will look at you with genuine confusion. But you've always handled it before. What changed? Nothing changed. You just finally did the math. The most expensive currency you will ever spend isn't money. It isn't even time. It is hope. Corporations run on a specific kind of fuel called future faking. It is the promise of a future reward that is used to extract present-day labor. It is the carrot on the stick, and you are the donkey. Scene 1. The development plan. You sit down with your manager. You've crushed your targets. You're ready for the step up. You want the senior title. You want the director role. You've done the work. And they look you in the eye. They nod. They agree. You are absolutely ready. We see you in that role. It's a lark. But then comes the however. However, we're in a hiring freeze right now. However, we need to wait for the new fiscal year. However, we just need to see you handle one more big project to really sell it to VP. Listen to the grammar. It's always conditional. It's always yes, but. They are selling you a ticket to a destination that doesn't exist yet. They are borrowing your labor today in exchange for a check they promise to write in 6 months. And because you are loyal, because you trust them, you accept the deal. You say, "Okay, I'll prove it." You work harder. You take on the extra project. You stay later. You act the part. You are doing the job of the promotion you haven't received yet. 6 months pass. The review comes up. Do you get the title? Do you get the money? No, the excuse changes. The market is volatile. We're restructuring the department. The budget got slashed. But notice something. The work didn't change. The expectations didn't drop. You are still doing the senior level work. You are still carrying the director level stress. You are just doing it at the junior level price. You are acting. Acting manager, interim lead. These titles are scams. They are a free trial of your soul. If Netflix asked you to pay for a subscription, but promised to let you watch movies in 6 months, you would laugh in their face. But when your employer asks you to work for a raise in 6 months, you say, "Thank you for the opportunity." This is the promotion dangle. They know that as long as the carrot is just out of reach, you will keep running. If they give you the carrot, you might stop running. You might get comfortable. Or worse, you might realize you're worth even more and leave. So they keep you hungry. They keep you chasing. And here is the dark psychology of why you stay. It's the sunk cost fallacy. You think, I've already put in 9 months of extra work for this promotion. If I leave now, I wasted all that effort. I have to stay to cash out. Wrong. You are investing. You are being defrauded. Every day you stay waiting for a promise that keeps moving is a day you aren't finding a company that will pay you for what you already are. You are financing their business with your hope. You are giving them a 0% interest loan on your talent. And unlike a bank, you have no collateral. You have no contract. You have a conversation over coffee and a vague assurance that we'll take care of you. Look at the evidence. When they need a new VP from the outside, do they wait 6 months? No, they find the budget. They sign the bonus check. They make it happen in 2 weeks. Money is never the problem. Timing is never the problem. The problem is that they have already bought you. Why would they pay full price for something they are currently getting at a 30% discount? Stop listening to their intentions. Look at their actions. If you are doing the job, you should be paid for the job. Acting is working for free. Interim is working for free. Stretch role is working for free. If they respect you, they promote you. Then you do the work. If they exploit you, they make you do the work to prove you deserve the promotion. And the proof is never enough, because the goal isn't to promote you. The goal is to keep you running on the wheel, chasing a plastic carrot until you collapse. And when you finally ask, when? And they say soon, translate that word. In corporate speak, soon means never. Let's talk about the cage. You don't see the bars because they are made of gold, or at least gold-plated zinc. You tell yourself you can't leave because of the benefits. You tell yourself you can't leave because of the stock options. You tell yourself you can't leave because you're vesting. Vesting. That is a prison word. It is a mechanism designed by behavioral psychologists, not accountants. It is designed to trigger one specific glitch in your brain: loss aversion. Your brain hates losing $100 more than it likes gaining $150. You will fight tooth and nail to keep what you think is yours, even if walking away would make you richer. Scene 1. The stock options trap. You log into your equity portal. You see a number. It looks big. Unvested value, $40,000. You stare at it. You think, if I leave today, I am throwing away 40 grand. I can't do that. I have to stay until October. Then another chunk vests. So you stay. You suffer through the toxic meetings. You tolerate the disrespect. You grind your teeth for 8 months to earn that vesting cliff. Now pause. Do the math. You stayed 8 months for a tranche of stock worth, say, $5,000 post-tax. In those 8 months, you could have moved to a competitor. You could have negotiated a base salary increase of $20,000. By staying for the free money, you actually lost $15,000 in guaranteed income. You are stepping over dollars to pick up pennies, but because the pennies are labeled equity, you think you are an investor. You aren't. You are a gambler playing a slot machine that only pays out once a year. Scene 2, the bonus handcuffs. It's January. You are burned out. You are done. You update your resume. You get a recruiter call. But then you think, wait, bonus payout is in March. If I leave now, I lose the bonus for last year. I worked hard for that. I earned that. I can't leave it on the table. So you tell the recruiter, call me in April. You stay, you endure, March comes, the bonus hits your account. It's fine, it's not life-changing, it's a nice weekend trip. But now it's April, and guess what? You're halfway to the next bonus. You think, well, I've already put in 4 months for this year's cycle, might as well finish it out. This is Zeno's paradox of employment. You can never leave because you are always halfway to the next payout. They have synchronized the carrots so that you are never, ever fully fed. There is always a jagged edge of unearned money dangling in front of you. And they do this on purpose. Retention bonuses, vesting schedules, 401k clawbacks, tuition reimbursement repayment clauses. These are not gifts, they are debt. They are designed to create a balance sheet in your head where leaving feels like a default. If I leave, I owe them. If I leave, I lose this. Stop. You don't owe them anything. You gave them your time. That was the transaction. The benefits were part of the price they paid to rent your brain. They aren't doing you a favor by matching your 401k. They are doing the bare minimum to remain tax efficient and competitive. The golden handcuffs work because they make you focus on the cost of leaving rather than the cost of staying. What is the cost of staying? It's the atrophy of your skills. It's the stagnation of your market rate. It's the depression that sets in on Sunday night. It's the anxiety that wakes you up at 3 a.m. Is that worth the $2,000 company match in your retirement account? Is your mental health worth a 3% vesting schedule? You are clinging to a life raft that is slowly deflating, but you won't swim to the yacht next to you because you're afraid to lose the half-eaten sandwich you're holding. They know this, they bank on it, they calculate the pain point, the exact amount of money they need to dangle to keep you frozen, not happy, just frozen. They don't want you to thrive, they want you to hesitate. And every time you say, I'll leave after the next vest, you are signing a contract to be miserable for another 6 months. You are selling your freedom for a future payment that, when inflation hits, won't even buy you the happiness you lost earning it. Unlock the cuffs, the gold is paint, the metal is cheap, and your hands were free the whole time. It is time to stop looking at the evil corporation. It is time to stop blaming the greedy shareholders. It is time to stop complaining about your toxic boss. Turn the camera around. Look at yourself. Because here is the uncomfortable truth that nobody else will tell you. You are not a victim. You are a volunteer. You are walking into that building every single day. You are logging onto that Slack channel every single morning. You are saying yes to the unreasonable requests. You are accepting the disrespect. You are tolerating the wage theft. Why? Why do you treat a business transaction like a moral obligation? Because you are still waiting for a gold star. You are suffering from good student syndrome. Since you were 5 years old, you were trained to sit still, be quiet, do your homework, and wait for the teacher to tell you that you are good. You were trained that if you follow the rules, if you color inside the lines, if you don't make a fuss, you will be rewarded. You are still playing that game, but school is out. You are sitting at your desk, doing your homework, waiting for your manager, your substitute teacher, to notice how good you are being. You are waiting for them to validate you. You are waiting for them to give you permission to be successful. You have projected your childhood need for parental approval onto a tax-exempt entity. You want your boss to be proud of you. You want the company to see you. You want to feel safe. That is a child's desire. It is not an adult's strategy. An adult knows that respect is not given, it is negotiated. An adult knows that value is not intrinsic, it is leveraged. An adult knows that if a relationship is abusive, you leave. You don't stay and try to love the abuser into treating you better. But you stay. You stay because deep down, you don't believe you can survive in the wild. You have been domesticated. The company hasn't just taken your time, they have taken your autonomy. They have convinced you that you need them. They have convinced you that the world outside those glass doors is cold and scary, and that you are not strong enough to hunt for yourself. So you eat the kibble they put in your bowl. You let them put the leash on you, and you tell yourself it's loyalty. It's not loyalty, it's dependency. You are addicted to the validation of authority. Every time your boss says, "Good job on that report," you get a little hit of dopamine. You feel safe for another day. You feel seen. And you are willing to pay a very high price for that feeling. You are willing to accept 20% less money than you are worth just to keep that steady drip of approval coming. You are paying them to make you feel like a good employee. Look at the future. Look 5 years down the road. If you don't change, who do you become? You become the bitter veteran. You become the person in the break room who complains about everything but changes nothing. You become the person who says, "I gave the best years of my life to this place," with a voice full of resentment. And the tragedy is, nobody will care. The new hires will look at you with pity. The management will look at you as furniture. And you will look at yourself with regret. You will realize that while you were busy being a good soldier, everyone else was being a mercenary. Everyone else was building a career while you were just holding down a job. You have a choice right now. You can keep waiting for the teacher to give you an A. You can keep waiting for the company to love you back. Or you can grow up. You can realize that your worth is not defined by your manager's mood. You can realize that your skills are a product and you are the CEO of the company selling them. You can realize that you are not lucky to have a job. They are lucky to have your labor. But to do that, you have to kill the good student. You have to stop asking for permission. You have to be willing to be difficult. You have to be willing to be greedy. You have to be willing to walk away. The cage door is open. It has always been open. The only thing keeping you inside is your own refusal to fly. Here is your future. I want you to close your eyes and look at it. Really look at it. It's 5 years from now. You are sitting in the same chair. The fabric is a little more worn. The screen is a little brighter. You are 5 years older. You are tired. You are still waiting for that big break. You are still waiting for them to notice how loyal you've been. And then it happens. A generic email goes out to the department. Please join us in the break room at 3:00 p.m. to celebrate your name's 10-year anniversary. You go, there is a sheet cake from the grocery store. It's dry. There are people there you don't recognize because the turnover has been so high. Your boss, maybe a new one, maybe the same one, clinks a plastic fork against a mug. They say, "We just want to thank your name for being such a rock. We don't know what we'd do without you." They hand you a certificate, maybe a branded fleece jacket. Everyone claps. Then, exactly 7 minutes later, everyone goes back to their desks. The cake is thrown away by the cleaning crew at 6:00 p.m. That is the return on your investment. That is the dividend of your loyalty. A dry piece of cake and a jacket you will never wear. Meanwhile, you have lost 5 years of compound interest on your salary. You have lost 5 years of skill acquisition. You have lost 5 years of your life building someone else's dream while yours gathered dust in the attic. Does that scare you? It should. It should terrify you more than any interview. It should terrify you more than the uncertainty of the job market. Now open your eyes. There is another option, but it requires you to do something that feels cold. It requires you to do something that feels disloyal. It requires you to become a mercenary. I don't mean you have to be mean. I don't mean you have to be toxic. I mean you have to change your fundamental operating system. Stop thinking of yourself as an employee. That word implies subservience. It implies ownership. Start thinking of yourself as a business of one. You are a consulting firm. Your employer is your current client. That is it. There is no family. There is a B2B contract. You provide a service, your skills, your time, your energy. They provide compensation, money. It is a trade. If a client stops paying you market rate, what does a business do? They renegotiate or they fire the client. If a client demands 24/7 access without paying a retainer, what does a business do? They set boundaries or they charge rush fees. If a client disrespects the vendor, what does a business do? They find a better client. This shift changes everything. When you are a business of one, you don't feel guilty about interviewing. A business is always looking for new customers. It's called business development. When you are a business of one, you don't feel bad about saying no to unpaid overtime. That's called protecting your profit margins. When you are a business of one, you don't take feedback personally. That's just client feedback. You adjust the deliverable, bill them, and go home. The emotional weight vanishes. The fear evaporates. Because you are no longer a child seeking approval. You are a professional seeking revenue. This is the only way to survive the modern economy. Loyalty is a luxury you cannot afford. Loyalty is a tax on your future. Loyalty is a liability. So here is your homework. It is not optional. Tonight, you are going to update your resume, not because you are quitting tomorrow, but because a business always keeps its marketing materials up to date. Tomorrow, you are going to look at a job board. Just look. See what the market is paying for your skills. See the number. Let it make you angry. Let it make you realize how much you are undercharging your current client. And the next time your boss asks you to do something for the team, or for the culture, or because we're a family, you are going to smile. You are going to be polite. But inside, you are going to say, "Fuck the family. Show me the fee." You have two paths. Path A, you stay, you hope, you pray. You eat the dry cake in 5 years and wonder where the time went. You let them extract every ounce of value from you until you are a husk. Path B, you wake up. You realize you are the product. You realize you are the asset. You take back your power. You treat them exactly how they treat you, as a line item on a spreadsheet. The company will survive without you. They will replace you in 2 weeks. They will not mourn you. So why are you mourning a relationship that doesn't exist? Stop being a martyr. Start being a CEO. The meeting is adjourned.